You see what I'm saying? They're trying to reinvent the wheel. They're trying to fix something that is not broken. This is not an example of innovation. This is not an example of thinking outside the box. This is an example of you just being a headache. Alright, what's going on, everybody? Anime Rambo back with another episode. Today we will be discussing Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2. The game is set to release this October, if I'm not mistaken. It may get pushed back just because it's a very early release date for Call of Duty, but given the state of Call of Duty Vanguard right now and everything that Sledgehammer is doing, can you really blame them? I mean, Call of Duty has been struggling for probably the last 4 years, realistically, with their new matchmaking system, but we're going to get into all of that. This is going to be a rant. This is going to be a ramble, because if you can tell by the title of this video, I just don't have faith in Infinity Ward anymore. Okay, 3 strikes, you're out. They really haven't produced anything worthwhile since Modern Warfare 3, but even then, that was just a carbon copy of Modern Warfare 2 if you really look at it, just because of everything that surrounded Infinity Ward during that era. I mean, Vince left with the mass majority of his staff, so they had to replace everybody, and then they replaced everybody. We got Modern Warfare 3, and then really the title after that was their first installment as a new studio after everything that had happened. And the first Call of Duty that we got after that was Call of Duty Ghost. Alright, after that was Infinite Warfare, after that was, I believe, Modern Warfare 2019, and now we're going to Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2. Do you see the problem with the list of Call of Duties that I just gave you? They're some of the most divisive and ill-received Call of Duties in the entire lineup. Treyarch and their Black Ops franchise has been pretty solid for 4 installments. Okay, Sledgehammer, they helped with Modern Warfare 3, but again, that was just a copy of Modern Warfare 2 with just new maps. Then they jumped in with, were they Advanced Warfare? I think they were Advanced Warfare. That was good. You know, if you're into advanced movements, it wasn't bad. But then we get into World War II, and then we get into Vanguard, which is just, again, World War II, right? Infinity Ward really don't know. I don't want to say they don't know what they're doing, but they know what they're doing. It's just not in line with the mass majority of Call of Duty players, right? They've always made these massive maps. Call of Duty Ghost was notorious for giant size maps. You just didn't have infinite sprint, so they were bigger than anything else. Modern Warfare 2019, massive size maps. Infinite Warfare also had massive size maps, but because you had, you know, the advanced movements and jetpacks, they didn't feel as though they were as big as what they were. But if you go back and look at the overview of those maps, they're massive. Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2 is already coming in my opinion, at a deficit just because of their past games. Alright, and then you start getting into the leaks of Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2. The guns are probably the saving grace. We have the other rumors that they're talking about that they're probably going to be importing more Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 maps due to the fact that they're now on a 2-year release cycle. That is the best case scenario, because at this point, I just don't trust Infinity Ward to make maps. So if these leaks and rumors turn out to be true, and they really are bringing back maps like Favela, Terminal, High Rise, Shipment, and Quarry, that's probably the best case scenario, if and only if they're there at day 1 launch. This is not a situation of, oh, let's just spread out the maps. No, because they just can't help themselves, right? I can only imagine that Shipment 24/7 in Modern Warfare 2019 was the most played playlist in that entire game, because who wants to spend 15 minutes on Piccadilly? Opening and checking every door, running into claymores, getting shot down by chopper gunners. I mean, if you actually get hit by a chopper gunner, because again, there are just so many buildings in Infinity Ward titles, new Infinity Ward titles, post Modern Warfare 3, that the big kill streaks are useless. That's a major problem in Infinity Ward titles nowadays. Yeah, they put in chopper gunners. Yeah, they put in AC-130s. But they also put in 10 buildings. All of them have 4 floors and a basement. And windows and doors you can just close to avoid the bullets and the fire, because there is no splash damage, or very little splash damage with those kill streaks. The kill streaks are useless, right? Even if they debut these massive kill streaks, it doesn't matter if you put in 50 buildings. Since Black Ops 4, they've been on this weird wave of anti-kill streaks, right? There's always something in the game that fucks over a kill streak, and it's always on a low tier level. You had Zero in Black Ops. Treyarch just doesn't like kill streaks, I'm convinced, at this point in time, since Black Ops 4. They put in Zero, an operator who has the ability to not even just destroy your kill streaks, to take it over and make it theirs. Then you get into Call of Duty Cold War, another Black Ops title, and they put in Air Patrol in the middle of the map, like literally, like you have the Air Patrol smack dab in the middle, then all the lower kill streaks, and then you have the higher kill streaks above it, but the Air Patrol takes out all the other higher kill streaks. And because the Air Patrol is the only kill streak, the only score streak in the game of Call of Duty Cold War that doesn't have a cooldown timer, it defeats you, right? It literally eliminates you ever racking up multiple of high kill streaks, even if you get to that point, because the score is just ridiculous in the grand scheme of things. I'm rambling about kill streaks at this point, but my whole thing is that Infinity Ward actually managed to get it right when they put the EMP in the game. Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, you had an anti-kill streak but it was literally the second highest kill streak on the list. You had the nuke at 25, and then you had the EMP at 18. And I think it was the exact same thing for Modern Warfare 3. You had the EMP at 18. Change the kill streak system. Give players more options. Allow us to pick how it is that we want to play the game. The problem with all of these modern Call of Duties is that because they're trying to protect the new players, which was not a luxury that was given to us back in the day in OG COD, give the players more options to play the game how we wanted to play. Modern Warfare 3, in my opinion, did everything right the best, okay? You had the strike chain system, all right? You had your kill streaks, you had your support streaks, you had your specialist streaks. If you want to protect noobs, just give them support streaks and give them the option to pick it, because I don't always want to use support streaks. I don't always want to use assault streaks. Sometimes I just want to go rogue, get my specialist, and go ham. That's it. But nowadays, Call of Duty want you to play how they want you to play. They eliminate any form of creativity from the game. The games are just not fun anymore because they try to streamline them. Modern Warfare 3, alright, I really would like to see the strike chain system make its appearance back into Call of Duty. Just give the player, any player, no matter what their play style is, allow them to pick the kill streak system that they want, because the support streaks allowed you to feel like you were contributing to the team even if you were going 17 and 34. Bring back Ninja as a perk. There's no point in making Ninja a field upgrade. You see what I'm saying? They're trying to reinvent the wheel. They're trying to fix something that is not broken. This is not an example of innovation. This is not an example of thinking outside the box. This is an example of you just being a headache. So my faith for them is just at an all-time low. Again, they have a lot of things that they need to bring back. I'm sure they're going to try to improve things that don't need to be improved. And the main issue, you can't even really depend on Infinity Ward to bring back old Call of Duty maps in order to make the game better, because they always do something to fuck it up. Like Joe brought back Crash, and for whatever reason, he felt like adding doors to it. He felt like adding windows to it. He felt like adding safe spaces to it. Legitimately just a fucking box that's just in a corner with a dumpster that you can just sit in, look over, and just peek the fucking heady and rack up kills. Like, there was legit no reason to add additional safe spaces to Crash when the map operated and worked perfectly fine. This is what I'm talking about. They do stuff just to fuck shit up, just to play how they want you to play. So when they bring back Favela, I expect doors and windows. When they bring back Terminal, well, they've already brought it back, so I imagine that's going to be the same. High Rise, same thing. They've already brought it back, so it was the same shipment. Chaotic. I mean, the spawns were ridiculous in that game. It doesn't even feel like they put spawns in the fucking game. And even then, they made changes to High Rise. I'm sorry, they made changes to shipment. And I forgot who I watched, but they broke down all the shit that they changed on the map and made it worse. The smallest map we have ever had in Call of Duty history, they managed to make it worse. I was mind blown. Quarry is supposed to be making a return in this Call of Duty. That's probably the map I'm most excited about. But when you look at the Modern Warfare 2 maps that they're bringing back outside of Terminal, they pretty much just picked, in my opinion, the maps that they can slap the most doors and windows on if they want to, right? Because you have to keep that in the back of your mind. Oh yeah, they're bringing back Favela. Oh yeah, they're bringing back Terminal, High Rise, and Quarry and Shipment. Well, they're gonna add safe spaces like they did with Crash. They're gonna add doors and windows like they did with Crash. And I'm really scared for any potential map that they may bring back from Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3. I mean, Afghan, we haven't seen a remake of that, and personally, they haven't been able to make a good desert map since Afghan. So by all means, I think that should be able to make a return. I don't want Derail to make a return, but now that I'm looking at it, it is just big enough for current day Infinity Ward. Actually, it might not be big enough. I can see them throwing in a little extra safe spaces, maybe to the north Definitely adding a basement and a roof access to that main warehouse that everybody runs to. A state, they'll probably put 5 or 6 more buildings on the map, link it with some underground tunnels. Favela, you just know doors. I'm disgusted just looking at the map and just how I know Joe Secott is gonna fuck that shit up. I'm surprised I didn't see Scrapyard make a return, but I'm sure that's a fan favorite map. It is a fan favorite map, so they'll probably be bringing that back. Wasteland, give us an open map, please. I mean, it is by far the most open map, but give us something. I just cannot stand to look at more buildings and factories moving forward. Dome has to make a return, and like when I say just buildings and factories, like you have got to understand, like Arklov Peak warehouse, Euphrates Bridge, is fine, it's not a warehouse, but it's still terrible. Hackney Yard warehouse, Azir cave, but terrible. There's no debating that. Grasnaw Raid factory, Piccadilly City, Ramaza City, St. Petrograd City. They only know cities, warehouses, and factories. You have got to give us some open space, because like I said at the beginning, further part of this video, there's no point in a chopper gun and an AC-130 if we just have buildings to deal with, okay? There's nothing you're gonna be able to do. I mean, I couldn't even finish Modern Warfare 2019. I ended up selling it. I never bought Vanguard. You know, these two Call of Duties with the same engine and the same playstyle, I just cannot get behind. So unless they're about to make some serious changes to Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2, I feel like I'm just gonna be very depressed, knowing that this is a game that's supposed to be lasting for 2 years, and just given how they currently space out their seasons and what it is that they give us, I just have no hope. I just have no expectations. I just have no build up for this game, right? I mean, Modern Warfare 2019, I think they've given us the least amount of maps at launch, at like 6 or 7. I think it was actually 9, but the way they divided the maps, making some only for 10v10, making some only for ground war, making some only for gunfight and 6v6. If you just play 6v6, you really only had 6 maps, because like Euphrates Bridge and whatever that palace map was, you couldn't play at all. I was a month and a half in the game, and I was just randomly in a lobby, and I was like, bro, why haven't we played Euphrates Bridge at all? I'm in 6v6. He was like, oh, that's a 10v10 map. I was like, why the fuck would you divide the player base? Yeah, you made every map free, but you divided the player base anyway by fucking making categorical maps, right? I mean, like back in the day, Ground War, if you played Ground War with 12 to 18 people, there was no separate maps, okay? You were gonna load up on Rust with 12 to 18 people. You were gonna load up on Favela with 12 to 18 people. Derail, Wasteland, Rundown, you were gonna Karachi, you were gonna go on all these maps with 12 to 18 people. There's no reason to make, now granted, Ground War and Modern Warfare 2019 was like an exuberant amount of players, but it doesn't need to be that large. If that's what you want, then call it something else and make it a separate playlist. But Ground War just needs to operate on all of the base maps that you put in the game, and that's just not what it is. I mean, NeroCinema, he came out with a video that was debunked about the player count and the steep drop off. But even if the numbers were wrong, in terms of Call of Duty Mobile, it does not change the fact that the drop off was there. It does not change the fact that Warzone and Call of Duty Mobile factor into the sales for the current Call of Duty title for the console. I don't know how. I don't know why. But you're not selling the game. It's a free download, right? So it really shouldn't factor in. They do it anyway to boost their own heads, but it's a false reality. It's a false reality because the game wasn't being played. If the game was being played, there was no reason for them to leave shipment 24/7 in the game all year long. That has never happened since Modern Warfare 2019. If you got a 24/7 playlist, it was because it was double XP weekend, and there was no other double XP weekend or a holiday, and usually double XP weekends fell on holidays. Now you have shipment 24/7, you have Shoot House 24/7, you have Nuketown 24/7, and all of these Call of Duties, because nobody is playing the actual game. They have to keep what draws fans in it all year long, and it's just indicative of a franchise that is just falling. They've been riding the hype of Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 2 for all of these years now. And it's finally catching up with them. They don't know what they're doing because they don't play the game. If you played the game, this would not have been an issue. Like, I take you back to World War II with Dom 50. We fought tooth and fucking nail with those developers to tell them you can't earn kill streaks in Dom 50. You cannot earn high kill streaks in Dom 50. And they swore, well, our data says this. Well, you're not playing the game. If you played the game, you would be your own data. Play for 1 week in Dom 50 in World War II before patches and tell me that, yeah, it's all running correctly. But look, oh my god, I rambled on long enough. If you made it to the end, thank you. If you are new, go plus ultra and smash the subscribe button. I know this is a gaming video, but if you're into anime and gaming, you know what I'm saying, drop a subscribe. If you made it to the end, drop a subscribe button. You rock with the content, drop a subscribe button. I will keep the content coming as infrequent as humanly possible. I'm out.
Right, so basically they want you to be playing the objective. If you want to get your score streaks, you have to play the objective, because just going out there and getting kills is not going to do it. So an example of that, the ball turret gunner, which is like the biggest, most powerful score streak in the entire game, if you do not capture a single flag or do anything involving the flags, you need to get a 34 kill streak to actually acquire the ball turret gunner. On the flip side of things, if you're talking about a recon aircraft, it will take you 10 kills, again, if you're not playing the objective, to acquire the equivalent of a UAV, which is ridiculous for a lot of people. So even when you play the objective, it is still very hard to acquire your score streaks. So as an example of that, the ball turret gunner, we're going back to that here for a moment. So it's a 34 kill streak right now if you don't play the objective at all. But let's say you are playing the objective and you are playing it very hard. If you capture 5 enemy flags, and I'm not talking about the flags at the very beginning of a round that are just free and given to you. Oh no, I'm talking about taking enemy flags, like the B flag, for example. You need to do that 5 times and go on a 19 kill streak to acquire the ball turret gunner. That's ridiculous if you ask me, right? And on the smaller side of things, when you're talking just about a recon aircraft, you can capture your back flag and capture the B flag, but you still need to go on a 6 kill streak just to get a recon aircraft. And you're playing the objective. You got your back flag, you made sure you had that, you got the B flag, and now you're running around getting 50 points per kill, and it takes forever just to even get a recon aircraft, which is not very good in my opinion. And when you're talking about the bigger score streaks in the game, I'm using bigger with quotations here, like the fighter pilot and the glide bomb, oftentimes, even while playing the objective, you are still going to need to go on a 10 plus kill streak to get what is the equivalent of a Predator missile, right? It's kind of ridiculous if you ask me.